Welcome to another video with Guelo35. Just kidding. I had to say that. So this video is about what I love about China. It's not just the material things, although it is convenient. So actually this time it is. Actually, I want to share about what I think about the convenience of China. And you know, every foreigner's done it, so why not? I've done it. I mean, I'll do it. I'm not living in China right now, but it's nice to reminisce. So things that I love and miss and what I think could be applied to Canada. Some places it is like that, but it's not really that convenient in Canada. Like having the ability, living in an apartment, going downstairs to get an affordable drink, like cheap, not paying overpriced 7-Eleven or Circle K prices that we do here, where you can compare a grocery store. Well, I guess it's the same in China. If you go to the grocery store, like the bigger supermarkets, you do save money, but I mean, you're really not spending a lot grabbing a bottle of Coke Zero from the shop downstairs. I miss doing that. Actually, I was never really hooked on Coke or anything like that. A lot of foreigners think that. You know, when you go to the restaurant, they always offer you, like your family, friends might even give you a Coke. Hey, get them a Coke or something. They like that. You want a Coke? Yeah. So, I mean, that's something. I think a lot of foreigners do that. I did that. I'll just say that. I did that. I used to order a Coke every time I went to, what's it called? Shabu Shabu. The hot pot place. So I'd always get a Coke because I don't know what it is about eating like meat and stuff and like just the bubbliness, I guess. So I'd always order Coke with that, or their orange drink, whatever it was, mango, I think it was. That was a bit sweet, but yeah, I'd always get a Coke, and they always give me things. So I started doing it at home too when I would have hot pot. And I don't want to drink sugary stuff, so I do drink diet. I just changed over to that, and that started in China. I had Coke Zero, and I thought it tastes great. I liked how it tastes there, and have it here now. I actually don't remember what the difference is. There must be a difference. A bit of a flavor difference. I think I find it more bubbly here. Maybe it's because of the way they store it there. They usually leave it out in the window and stuff. You know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, stuff like that. Convenience stores that are just in your complex. Like you can go downstairs any time of the day. You know, you have like a little 7-Eleven down there. You don't have to drive to one or walk very far. And sometimes you live like a block away from a shopping mall. It has everything you need there. You know, restaurants. Lots of different kind of restaurants to choose from. Lots of different kind of drink places. That's the thing in China. Drinks, like just endless, and a plethora of different types of drinks. And a lot of good coffee. Anywhere you go, you get good coffee. And I'm not even a coffee guy, but I tried coffee shops there and I liked it. And I've picked up this, you know, the 3-in-1 coffees. I was never really a coffee drinker, but I started drinking those. Those are the only things I could handle because, like, I don't like the taste of coffee. So I started drinking those and actually drink them here now. It's like a white bean coffee. It's good. Usually they come from Malaysia. Some of them are Russian, I think. They're good. These Vietnamese ones is good. Like Vietnamese make good coffee. Okay, so stuff like that. So basically I'm talking about food, the convenience of it. Yeah, grabbing street food is great. I mean, that's fun. I mean, you never know how clean it is. You do pick your place. If it looks clean, you have a good, you gotta have a good sense, I guess. It's not hard. If it looks dirty, don't eat there. But yeah, eating kebabs on the street, so much fun. There's a place literally across the road from my apartment. I would just walk across with family and, you know, just hang out. And that's another thing. One thing I miss is that, like, you can go out with friends who have kids too. You can go out late together. Like, we just go out, and everywhere is pretty much family friendly. We go to coffee shops and stuff like that, bring kids, and like. That's like one thing you might feel like here. Like, people don't really see each other too much when you have kids. It's like you kind of just stick to your family because, like, you feel like you're tied down. Yeah, you know, if you don't have kids, this is another thing to think about. It's not. Like, you gotta really think about this if you're gonna have kids in China. If you're there and you have kids there, I would suggest having the kids, if they're able to go through the system there, do it there. If you try to move to your home country and then decide later, oh, maybe we'll move back, like when they're already in grade school or even in kindergarten. I mean, school starts for kids very young in China. They're already in school by 3 years old. And they're probably going to be like 5 levels up in the math compared to kids in North America. So you got to think about that. What kind of education you want. There's private schools there too. There's new news that I guess it depends on the city, but in Beijing they're planning on implementing kids, like foreign kids, will be able to go to public schools. So they pay the same amount. You don't have to pay the overpriced prices as they do at the international schools, like at an international Canadian school, which is like in a rich area along the Chaoyang district, or like the embassy area. That's where those big schools are, and you pay a lot. It's like 50,000 RMB a year. So, I mean, there's things to consider. I know this is a good idea, and there's a good idea about bringing kids back to your home country if you're thinking about the education and the free time they have for playing and stuff like that. But I mean, for instance, I have to give my example from Canada. You know, education, especially where I live, it's not that great. Even in the big city, it's not that great. You have to get private tutoring to even catch up with the level in China. Another thing about schools in China now is like, if you have money, you can go to a good school in Shanghai. But Beijing, there's a new system. It doesn't matter what your status is. It matters what your family is, basically. If you had a grandfather who was like a mathematician or a pianist, or some like very professional musician, and it's in the blood, it's in the DNA. There's schools in Beijing now that you can't get in unless you can reach a certain level. So it makes it unfortunate for people who are really wealthy in Beijing. Like, you can be a millionaire, but if your kid's not that smart, you're not getting in that school no matter what. Maybe you got to think about going to Shanghai. There's things like that. It seems like there's going to be a more divide between the upper class and even the middle class to the lower class. There's going to be a bigger gap, it seems like, for the future, at least for in Beijing. So even as a foreigner, thinking about going to tier 2 or tier 3 city is a better choice. The life, I guess, speed is slower. Lifestyle's a bit more relaxed, and I don't think they have that same struggle to get kids in school. It's not as expensive, right? Not like cities like Beijing. So yeah, living in Beijing might be a bit harder unless your kid's a genius. So yeah, those are things to think about. Funny how I just switched the topic from things I love about China to that. But yeah, that's something to think about. Like, your kids have a choice if they're born there and you have a spouse that's Chinese, so they will have the chance to go to school and then choose after they graduate, are they going to continue to get their Chinese passport, or go study abroad somewhere else or back home. Like, I mean, it all depends on how your situation is and if you're going to stay there or not. So that's something to consider, is education for your kids, or even like education for your, like if you're planning to have a family for yourself, things like that. So you gotta also think about retirement. In Canada, you need at least to work 40 years to get your pension. So that's another thing you think about. For me as a Canadian, if you're gonna rely on a pension, for say, if you really rely on a pension, for me, I don't want to go down that route. It's just thinking about relying on the government to pay me. I don't like that. I think it's good to have savings and work as much as you can, work hard, and and also I like this Chinese mentality about family. So this is another thing I want to point out, is family. So when you're a kid, you gotta expect that when you get older, take care of your family. Family's first, right? It's not like, I believe also my daughter, raised her up to be independent and self-motivated. I gave her the name Amelia because it means to strive. So it means to push yourself, a person who pushes forward to succeed. And so that I think that's a good blend to have. That I have. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying like I got it all figured out and I got a perfect idea about it. But that's how I kind of see it. It's like I like the family factor. That's what appeals me a lot to China, is the family unit. But I got a good Chinese family. I got a great mother-in-law who's very supportive, and she's been very accepting, very, 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 very supportive. She said she sees me as her son, and I really appreciate her. And that's like another thing about China, is that people in China touch your heart so much just because of the way they show how they care. If you can understand the things about face and try to understand those cultural things, like even me, like my Chinese level, very, very basic, but I'm married into the Chinese family, right? So then I understand quite a bit from my wife and from my experience and from my mother-in-law and the family over there and how they treated me, and I hear things like how they deal with issues and stuff like that, and it's great to have an open mind and to learn what other cultures, like what other views are on family and stuff like that. So I have a very conservative view about family, and China has that, a very conservative view, and that's what appeals me to China. It's nice. It's nice to see that. Sometimes the family thing can be too much and too intrusive. I felt that as a foreigner, like going through this, I felt that at the beginning, and I kind of learned to understand it and how to deal with it, and understand, from the other side, like why they act the way they do, and just try to understand the other person in the other shoe, and it's easy to get along then. That's what I'm talking about, like bridging the misunderstandings, and how people have this distant view of like Asia and China, and like it can lead to weird ideas and just negativity. All right, I am gonna wrap this up because I'm just about home. So I hope that was enjoyable. I kind of went off topic for a little bit, and I hope I still stayed on topic, but it's just stuff I like to share. So yeah, there we are. I'll catch ya on the next one. Bye bye.